Hey, look at
Hello
that.
and welcome to 21st Century Cinema. It's the first ever video episode. Look,
Woo!
look at this. I'm one of your hosts, Joseph Delavecchia. Joining me today is Noah Shepard, one of our lovely co-hosts. Noah, it's so good to see you.
It is great to
Um,
see
we
you,
haven't
Joe.
s- we haven't seen you in a little bit. We saw you back in June. In July, it was just me and Jamie Rabanel. You sadly couldn't make that episode with a last minute thing that came up. And then we took a bit of a 6-week break, and now we're coming in right at the end of summer. We're doing an August episode at the exact tail end of August, because that's how we roll over here.
Oh
Um,
yeah, never on time, always late.
but we've got something really exciting to do today. Something that we're trying multiple things for the first time today. First thing, if you're listening to us on Spotify, Apple Music, Google Podcasts, wherever you listen, thank you for coming back. And if this is your first time, check out some of our other episodes. But if you're over on one of our social platforms, you're watching the first ever videoed version of 21st Century
Yay.
Cinema. It's really exciting that we're doing this. We have never had the opportunity to do something like this before. And we're going to try it out. We're going to see if it works well. If it does, we're going to definitely do more of these. If it doesn't, this is a cool one-off thing. And congrats to the OGs for being here when it launched. Cheers to you. See, now if you're not watching the video, you don't know that I just drank out of a glass at that point when I said cheers. I literally cheers. Anyways, as you know, it's the podcast about film and the film industry. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Me and Noah Shepard are just going to talk openly and candidly about film, the film industry, and about the future of the show, guys. I mean, we're about to hit 3 years soon. We're going into our 4th season in January. And it's really different because the show also had a huge shift in its 3rd season, where we've added a new co-host and we're now doing less episodes. So we're just going to talk candidly about everything, and essentially this will be a little bit of a connection with you guys, because we do a lot of this talking also personally about opinions that we have. A lot of times when we're doing an episode, we get very derailed easily, and then it's a lot of editing for me. So this will also be fully uncut to save on editing as
Oh no.
well. Yes, oh no, indeed. So Noah, why don't you start off, because you have something really exciting to tell everyone that happened to you this week, that you called me about while I was at work. So let's a great way to open the show, ladies and gentlemen. Noah Shepard, take it away.
So the Newfoundland film industry is film and TV industry is really starting to get off the ground. Like, we've been the best kept secret for a long time, but
Best kept
um,
secret that nobody even knows about it.
places are starting to now realize exactly what our industry can bring and what our place can provide.
Is
So
there
we've had,
also not, sorry, a scene in the Snyder Cut that was filmed in Newfoundland?
I don't know if it was filmed, but it's supposed to be Newfoundland. There's a
Gotcha.
Newfoundland license plate. There's a Newfoundland flag in the background. It's Aquaman when he's in the back of the truck. But so we have things are starting to evolve that way, and we've had a couple TV shows here in the past. Probably the most notable that people would recognize, that if you didn't watch Republic of Doyle, I know that was one of the big real first one, but Frontier was shot here, and starring Jason Momoa, and it's a period piece. I haven't seen it yet, but yeah, that was shot here, and we've had a couple other things recently. Hudson and Rex is currently a TV show that's being shot pretty consistently here. The Surrealtor is another one that's being shot here, and there is a new show coming out now, which Newfoundland has. If you've ever watched This Hour Has 22 Minutes, one of the guys on that show, Mark Critch, he's from Newfoundland, very well-known comedian and actor from here. He wrote a book called Son of a Critch. Now, that book is about him just growing up in Newfoundland in the 80s, but as the son of a reporter, Mike Critch, and that reporter actually works at the radio station that I work at, or used to work at there. He was the crime reporter, and Mike Critch was his name, so he used to also work for VOCM. So they're making this TV show, and VOCM is going to be in it, and they've just started shooting now, and they were now moving towards like all the actors now who were in it, they're all here, and so the series is starring people like Mark Critch is playing his father, Mike. And if any of you've seen The Haunting of Bly Manor, the little kid, the little creepy boy, he's actually in it as Mark Critch as a kid. And also Malcolm McDowell is in it as Mark Critch's grandfather. So we got a chance to tour the set yesterday. The premiere was going to be there, and we were allowed to come in and get sort of film the interaction. And well, I'm radio, so pictures and stuff like that. And we did a couple. We were gearing up for a couple interviews, and when we got in there, we saw the scene specifically, which was really cool. I'm not going to spoil anything because that would be unprofessional of me, but we got to see them act out a scene, and it's they cut and checked it, so it seems like that's going to be the take that's in the show. But after they finished that, the premiere went in and met all the cast and stuff, and they were tons of pictures I have from it now, and they were just doing their usual, like media availability type thing. However, after that, we were getting ready to scrum with the premiere, and they brought in someone else for us to talk to. So I can sit here today and say, I have interviewed Malcolm McDowell, and it is so incredibly exciting. Yes, Alex from A Clockwork Orange has looked into my eyes as I made eye contact with him asking questions. And I don't get nervous very often doing my job anymore. I'm pretty confident in that. But I gotta be, my heart was pumping talking to Malcolm McDowell.
So from my side of this story, I'm working. I'm at work. I'm enjoying my day. It's a good day. It's a nice calm day. And we actually had, so for those that don't know, I've started new work. Joe is now working. I'm working with comic books guys. As much as I do 21st Century Cinema for fun, my biggest hobby is, as Noah knows, collecting comics, reading comics, and I have quite the collection. I've actually categorized about 75% of it today, and I have so many books, Noah. I have almost 3 times more books than I thought I did. And I was like, oh, fuck. Yeah, that's currently what's going on with me. But so I'm working with comics, and we actually had someone come in asking about The Killing Joke, and they were wondering which printing it was that we had, and so they're trying to figure out which printing it is. And I know The Killing Joke is like one of those books where I can tell you what it is, like based upon printing, because it's because of different font colors. But the first printing is green, and one of the very last printings, I think it's the 13th or 14th, is also green. So you tell it apart by the word smile has an exclamation point in the later printing. In the original, it doesn't. And the cufflink on the Joker's arm holding the camera is a different color. So I run out and I go and I tell them, oh, this is how you tell. And we realize we have the first printing. So I go back into my office. And as I come in, I notice that my phone has a missed call on it right away. And it was like less than 10 seconds ago. And it's Noah. And I don't think you've ever... Since you've been in Newfoundland, I don't think you've ever called me. I always call you when we talk.
Yeah. No, if you call,
you'll text.
Call. I'll text you. But
you'll text me. You've Snapchat me. You'll Instagram message me, but you never call me. So I'm immediately like, something's wrong. And there's a voicemail, and I'm like, okay, Noah also left a voicemail, so I know this must be a problem. So I immediately called him back. I didn't listen to the voicemail, and he picks up the phone all chipper, and he's like, did you hear my voicemail? And I'm like, no, what's going on? And it's just like, I just interviewed Malcolm McDowell, and the first words out of my mouth were, did you ask him about A Clockwork Orange? And Noah says, no, it wasn't that kind of thing. And I'm like, what do you mean it wasn't that kind of thing?
Yeah, so
you ask him, how fucked is Kubrick in real life?
All of our conversation, right, was about this new upcoming project, Son of a Critch, which is shaping up. It's made by the same there's a couple of different production companies from here, but it's also made by the same people who made Schitt's Creek. And shout out to Brandon Rollo, our dear friend.
Brandon Rollo, I hope you're out there just having fun. He moved to California, and I just hope he's having a good time out there.
Me too.
Yeah, for those who don't know, me and Noah went to college with one of the actors from Schitt's Creek who had a small reoccurring role, Brandon Rollo. He played Eric from Schitt's Creek. And yeah, lovely guy. We love him to death. And I tried to talk to him to get on the show and actually bring him on to talk, but he's sadly very busy out in California chasing his dreams of acting. which we respect and we wish him all the best. And I hope one day we can have Brandon on the show.
But yeah,
sorry, go
so
ahead.
it's being made by the same people who did Schitt's Creek, so it seems very promising, and it's like it's the same sort of thing as Schitt's Creek, where it's an ensemble TV show, but also with that, it's like sure it has all the comedy, but it still does serious themes. So like the scene we saw was not a funny scene; it was very much a very serious scene. Because Mike Critch was a crime reporter. Like that, he worked in news and he was very good at it. And that was, when you're in news, you're going to see grisly stuff. The day before I interviewed Malcolm McDowell, I went to my first crime scene. So, you know what I mean? There's the harsh realities of it, and the show doesn't seem to be shying away from that. And I'm very excited to see what happens with it.
Did you at least talk to Malcolm McDowell, like personally after the interview or right before it?
No,
Did you say anything to this man that would have been important to the show?
So the premiere was here. It was there. So
I don't give a fuck if the premiere was doing a line dance naked, Noah. Did you ask Malcolm McDowell anything about any movie he's ever been in to bring to our show?
No, I did not.
For fuck's sakes.
But there is this was only a small sort of media opportunity, and they were almost doing us a favor bringing Malcolm in. And so we just asked him about his time in Newfoundland and stuff like that. But they're doing a wider media day later in September. So I may be coming back with more Malcolm McDowell content.
I hope you do. I really, really hope you do. Did you at least say to him, oh, hey, I'm a big fan? Did you say anything?
Yeah, I asked him questions, but it was just they brought him in.
But did you share just a half second with him?
Yeah, I did. As he was getting ready after he finished it, after he was getting ready to leave, and hey, thanks for speaking with us. And he went, yeah, absolutely. And then he went on his way because it was lunch. Listen, it's a busy place, man. They're making movies.
I know how busy the fucking industry is, Noah. It doesn't. We just needed one little thing, like how when we had our TIFF episode and me and Jamie were telling all these fun stories that we've had, and you have nothing. You then come and you're like, I talked to Malcolm McDowell, and we're like, well, what did you say? And you're like, I asked him about a new TV show that no one knows any fucking shit about.
Well, yeah, because it's just in development. It will be a big deal. It will. That I'm predicting.
If this isn't the hottest show on Netflix in a year, Noah, I swear to fucking God.
Well, it's airing on CBC, so it'll first air on network TV.
Network TV is dead. Doesn't anyone know that by now?
I know.
How many episodes have we done on that? And we're a fucking small ass podcast that no one cares about. My God, and fucking network TV.
But all right. Ooh, look at this video podcast just in time. Everyone, here is how close I was to Malcolm McDowell. Here you go, everyone. There's Malcolm McDowell right there.
You don't even have a picture with him, Noah.
No, I know.
But also, is that the set behind him?
Yeah, we did it on set. Yeah,
it's
an 80s Newfoundland kitchen. The set's incredible.
Very 80s. Oh my God, that thing screamed 80s.
It is an incredible set that they have set up there, and I haven't even seen the radio station set. I've only seen the household set, and it's all in a big warehouse, and it looks awesome.
So that's Noah's Malcolm McDowell story. I'm happy for you. I really am. I'm giving you a hard time, but I'm very happy for you. And I am also hoping that you do come back with more stories that you can share on this show. Because it will be really great, because also in November, Jamie Ramont, is coming back to the show to do a special episode with us. So it'll be really great to tell those stories. And he's really trying to drag me with him to TIFF this year, and I really, really want to go. I have no problem him dragging me to TIFF, but we're essentially just trying to find a show right now where it's on a Friday night, because he's finding things for Thursday nights, and I'm like, I have to work Friday mornings. I'm okay to go, but since it's gonna be really late and transport will be hard, so I'll have to drive and figure that out. I'm like, I need a Friday night. So he wants to do a Midnight Madness and everything, and I'm saying my prayers already for that. But
no, we love Jamie.
I'm old now, Noah. I go to bed at 10 p.m.
Oh, hey, I'm only a half hour. At least tonight, I'm only a half hour behind you, because I get up at 3:30 some mornings now, so that's a fun one.
I get up between 6 and 6:30 usually, depending on the day. So not
Gotcha.
as bad as you, but
No,
still.
weekends I'm up. I'm up for weekends. I'm up at
See, I
3:30,
try to stay
cracking
up,
on.
but yesterday 11:30 came, and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to sleep. I'm too fucking tired. I was reading Department of Truth, which, by the way, you need to read Department of Truth. The first volume's out in trade paperback. But I'm reading Department of Truth, and I'm so excited to finally read this. I got all the issues. I'm like a year behind on it. I totally missed out on this craze of James Tinian, the Fourth Writing. But I'm reading Department of Truth, and I'm just like, oh my god, I'm so tired. I need to go to bed. And yeah, this isn't actually that exciting of a story, just the fact that I'm old now, Noah. I can't even stay up past fucking midnight anymore. I slept for 9.5 hours last night, and I bet you anything I'll be in bed before 12 tonight.
Oh yeah, no, listen, I feel you. I am absolutely exhausted at the end of every single day.
Yeah, you completely cut out there. You want to go again?
Oh, I said I'm absolutely exhausted at the end of every single day.
Let's move on though. Noah, we discovered right before we hit record that we're both reading the same book right now in anticipation for a movie. Good, you have yours because my copy's all the way back there buried. We're both reading Dune, guys. Dune's coming out in a few months. This is probably the most excited I've been for a Timothée Chalamet movie ever.
Agreed.
I'm more excited though because it's directed by Denis Villeneuve, who did Arrival. I absolutely love that movie. I love Denis Villeneuve's work. And after Arrival, he did Blade Runner, and I think he did another movie too that was just more actiony and not really like more of like a more powerful piece. Which I know Dune, it's like this classic sci-fi, but it is definitely more of a powerful piece. So I'm really excited to watch Dune after I finish reading it. I'm only like the first little bit through. I've only had it like a week.
I think I've been working on it for about a month or so now.
It's
just
so
I've been so
long,
exhausted. It's
and there's
so
like
dense.
10 of them.
And it's so dense.
Oh my gosh.
There's so many words that just don't mean anything, and I have to figure out what they mean.
Does yours have a glossary in the back? Mine has like a glossary that gives me all the definitions on everything in the world and
I sure hope so. One
Let me
second,
see
my
if I
mic
can
is
actually
all over the place here.
Yeah,
All
let
right.
me see if my copy is in view. It might not be. It might be right here. If not, then I have it somewhere else.
That's pretty cool.
Okay, yeah, mine here. It's right here, actually, beside me. So take a look.
Oh, it does. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God.
It's got a map in it, and then it's got right in the back. There's a terminology of the Imperium, and it gives you like, yeah, I've checked this thing like 3 times already while reading. You can see like I've had it a week, and that's how deep I am. Like I'm very little of the ways through.
That's what that thing is. I've been trying so hard on trying to figure out what. I don't know how to say it. I refuse to say it because some Dune diehard fan, even though nobody watches this podcast, will find me and will correct me on it. Gotcha. Yeah, okay. All right. That's good to know because my God, I've been struggling, man.
So much. Yeah, no, it's
so
very
dense.
It's very helpful in the back. But yeah, no, there's fucking 6 of these.
I know. I'm only like 60 pages in.
His fucking afterword goes on forever too. Jesus fucking Christ.
Well,
oh
yeah,
God.
I mean it's a legendary book. It should. It's like
a legendary book.
Staple.
But oh my God, like when I first heard about Dune, I thought this was it. You know, I thought this was it. I'm gonna go watch the movie, and that's that. And then it's when I bought the book, I found out there was more. And then I'm like, oh, they're setting up multiple sequels with what they're doing. Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, so Dune, like the story of Dune is already split into 3 different parts, and that's what my book is all 3 parts. And then there's the first part of that is called Dune as well, but then there's more books after that, I'm pretty sure. I'm hoping that the story will be summed up in these 3 parts.
It goes on. I know Dune Messiah is still Paul's story, I'm pretty sure. And then there's Children of Dune, God Emperor of Doom, Heretics of Doom, and Chapter House Doom. Chapter House Dune. What are they trying to do, like a ripoff of Slaughterhouse?
Maybe.
Like what the fuck is that? But yeah, so no, I'm pretty sure it's like an ongoing overarching story. I don't know. I haven't read it all. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I did read all this summer though? The Witcher books.
How are those? Excited for the new season?
Extremely sexist, but very good. Okay, so
that's not good.
No, okay, so it has a lot of really great ideas and does a lot of really excellent world building, and I absolutely adore and love the character of Ciri. I loved her in the games. I loved Freya Allen playing her in the TV show, and the books just solidified my love for Ciri. I have her fucking sword right there behind me. And I'm so excited to see what's going to happen with Siri in the new season and how they're doing it. But what I really like, and I like that I watched the show first because I saw how the show took these really great ideas and then kind of like rewrote them and made them like this good, entertaining story. Where when I'm reading this, there's a lot of information that I don't need. It's kind of dragging on. And then sometimes it's just like, I don't need this many details about a 14-year-old girl's boobs, but you're giving it to me anyways. So thank you, Polish man. Yeah. So I switched to the audiobooks very quickly, and that's how I got through it, treating it kind of like a podcast, just doing the audiobooks.
I might. I want to read Dune. I want to actually read it, but it's taken me a while.
But so you see though how I am. Yeah, so there's a lot of really great ideas in the Witcher books. I love the Witcher series. I'm very excited for season 2. And I'm excited for when CD Projekt Red eventually makes the Witcher 4, and hopefully doesn't make Cyberpunk 2077 a repeat when they do that. But the books, I guess I kind of recommend them, and then I kind of don't at the same time. It's complicated, my relationship with the books. Yeah.
That's fair.
Also, like I said, guys, we just go off on tangents, and now this is the part where we're like, okay, let's reel it back in, because we were talking about Dune and everything. Noah, I want to talk to you, though. There's been some really exciting movies that did. The cinemas finally reopened this year as the pandemic has started to wind down. Yep. I have to ask you, in Newfoundland, what wave are you guys going into? Because we're starting a 4th wave here in Ontario. Have you guys even gotten a second wave? Like,
oh yeah, we had our second wave. So we had the first initial thing. So we more so are tracking about like big outbreaks. So like the first wave we had was there was a funeral home and a whole bunch of cases connected to that. That was the first real COVID outbreak here. Then we had another one after Christmas. That was a pretty big one because it was in funeral home was also in St. John's, but that one
wait, pretty big one. What was the highest your cases got to?
I wouldn't be able to tell you. A couple hundred. Like, we weren't as
that's so much.
Well, when you think about our population, when you think about a population, but anyway, so we did that. So we went through that one. There was another smaller one on like the West Coast and Central Newfoundland. So I guess that's kind of the third wave. So we're finished our third. We haven't entered the 4th yet. We've been getting a couple more cases recently than we had been getting for a little bit. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Our vaccination rates are pretty good right now, but we're still trying to get that everybody's second dose in.
Nice. Well, I'm glad to know things are going okay there for you. But anyways, my point of this was that theaters did open up. We have been able to go and see movies. I've seen a few. I know you've seen some things. So tell me, out of everything new you saw this year, what's probably been your favorite thing you've seen?
Well, In the Heights easily takes it because it's me and I enjoy theater and musicals. And it was really good. It was a very good movie. It was really enjoyable.
I didn't get to see it, and I'm so
Joseph.
And no one is more upset than I am, okay?
The changes they made were like when they came up in the movie when I was watching, it was like, okay, I questioned them, but all of them really paid off. And I thought it was just really solid, really good. The visuals were great. Still very much kept that theater spirit, which was really nice. Movie musicals can sometimes lose that, like the Rent movie musical. It just doesn't feel the same, but In the Heights definitely had more of that spirit. And I believe the only other thing that I've seen in theaters this year, I've seen lots of new movies coming out, but in theaters this year is Suicide Squad, The Suicide Squad.
The Suicide Squad. I thought it was just okay, The Suicide Squad. Better than the first one. It was fun, but wasn't great, in my opinion.
The way I look at it is it never was trying to be a masterpiece. It was just trying to be a fun popcorn movie, and it definitely did that. I definitely go and see it again. I laughed my ass off while I was watching it. I thought they did and they did get a little serious at times, and I thought that actually worked out pretty well. They did a way better job with their characters in this one. You can actually care about them. Genuinely, Harley was really funny, where in the first one I found her a little bit cringy, but did a really good job with her in this one, and of course King Shark. But legitimately, not just because of my interests, but legitimately, it was an incredible acting performance from John Cena. He was awesome as the Peacemaker. Absolutely, I approve of that. He was awesome. He really was.
This is what I want to talk about.
Best parts of the movie.
I want to talk about the fucking Peacemaker. I got the Funko Pop. I loved John Cena as the Peacemaker. And Noah, we have a little bit of a relationship with the character of Peacemaker, me and you.
Yes, we do.
We do. So, if you've been listening to one episode of the show, I've probably somehow mentioned Watchmen. You know, I don't have it here. I have a 9.8 of its, not 9.8, 9.6 of its slab, but I don't have that here. So here's my 7.5. Okay. I have so many copies of this fucking book. I have another raw issue of I have so much. No, I'm 3 hardcovers away from owning every single like version of Watchmen.
Oh my god.
Yeah. In at least one format, some in multiples. Anyways, I'm just building a little pile of stuff here that I keep getting up to crap. Yeah, so, but I've mentioned Watchmen before, and for those who don't know, the characters of Watchmen, the Watchmen, are based off of Charlton Comics characters, and Charlton Comics went out of business, and they sold their characters to DC, and when DC got the characters, Alan Moore wanted to make a story with them called Who Killed the Peacemaker, and it was a murder mystery where the Peacemaker was killed, and DC was like, no, we want to do things with these characters, and they proceeded to do nothing with them except for Blue Beetle and Captain Atom. And so the Peacemaker kind of just sat on a shelf pretty much until now. But when we were researching for a class, me and Noah took a graphic novel class in college, and we did Watchmen. We were researching this because we did a whole presentation on the Charlton characters and comparing them to their Watchmen counterparts. And the Peacemaker was based off of, the comedian is based off of the Peacemaker. We discovered that the original Peacemaker was a guy who just killed Nazis. And
no, not the original Peacemaker. The original Peacemaker is just a guy who likes peace. But they tried to rebrand him as like this edgier character at some point. I can't remember exactly what it was. I haven't looked at that PowerPoint in a while, but they tried to like rebrand him. And yeah, he was like the son of a Nazi, and it was a really dark backstory. And John Cena's is definitely closer to that version of the Peacemaker than the original.
Yeah, it's 100% closer. But yeah, that was the whole Charlton era. And John Cena does just an absolute great job of playing the Peacemaker, bringing him to life, teasing up that TV show. I love how much John Cena loves being the Peacemaker. He's wearing that fucking costume everywhere. In all the press, he's wearing it. But yeah, so the Peacemaker was absolutely great, and I did love John Cena's performance. I thought that Rick Flag was definitely a lot more likable and better.
Way better.
I was shocked that they killed Captain Boomerang off like in the first few seconds.
Yeah, done. I love that they brought in so many. I love that they brought in so many bigger name actors just to mow them all down at the beginning.
Yeah, well,
Nathan
that's
Fillion.
what the Suicide Squad is.
Yeah, exactly. Pete Davidson.
Yeah, no, it was really, really great. James Gunn did do a great job. And like I said, I was watching this movie as a popcorn movie or just as like a regular superhero movie. I think it's great. But if I step back and I look at it through that critical lens, which I have a hard time turning off, it's just okay for me. But overall, I did have a very fun time watching this movie.
And King Shark is incredible. Of course he is. The internet's
going
insane with him.
You know what? We have to talk about something, though. And that's, you know what? If you liked Stallone as King Shark, sure. Great. It was fun. It was funny. It was adorable. Watch the Harley Quinn animated TV show.
Oh my God, watch it.
It is
please.
An adult cartoon. It is so fucking funny. It is so amazing. And King Shark is in it. And it's just, he's so much better. That version of King Shark, I love so much.
Where he wants to be the hacker of the team.
Yes, exactly. Have you watched like all of it? Have you watched both seasons?
No, I haven't seen all of it yet.
Oh, Noah, what are you doing with your life? Go watch it.
I've been working.
Watch it, okay? And also, you can skip Titan season 3. Don't even get me started on what's going on over there right now.
Haven't picked it back up since. Yeah, I finally watched the first 2 seasons, and they were good. But yeah, I haven't watched season 3.
But anyways, all besides the point. Yeah, Suicide Squad. I saw Free Guy. Did you see Free Guy?
No, I haven't.
Oh my God.
Not super excited about it. Just kind of seems.
You know
kind
what?
of Ready Player One-ish.
It really is Ready Player One-ish. I won't lie to you. It's definitely that kind of movie, but it's more lighthearted than Ready Player One. There are some really great jokes, and because of the Disney Fox merger, they essentially Disney allowed Ryan Reynolds to put in all these like little like cheeky references and things. It's really great. Like, just knowing who you are, I think you would go. I think you would have a really fun time watching it. I think you'd laugh a lot, and I think you would appreciate what they did. I think you'd like it.
I'm a little Reynolds out. I love Ryan Reynolds, but I'm a little tired of that style humor. But I'll check it out at some point. I definitely will watch it.
Yeah. I know. And Joe Keery's great in it. The female lead, I forget her name. I think it's Jodie something. God, I can't remember it. Here, guys, this is what we cut out on the show all the time. If we forget a name, we Google it, and then we cover and cut around it so we look smart. But we forget names all the time.
Jodie Foster. I don't know.
Sorry, my actual audio recording just cut out. Yes, we were just Googling the name of the main lead in Free Guy, and it is Jodie Comer, not Jodie Foster.
Yeah, I know it's not Jodie Foster.
If you look up the cast, Jacksepticeye and Pokimane come up as like the 3rd and 4th spot for billing. But like, A, I know they weren't paid more than Taika Waititi and Joe Keery, and B, they're in it for like a combined total screen time of like 3 minutes.
I wouldn't be able to tell you.
Anyways, I thought that was really weird for Google to list them like that. But anyways, yeah, Jodie Comer, she's also really, really great in it. I really liked her in it. And that was Free Guy. And then I also saw Black Widow, and I did not like Black Widow.
You know me, I have major Marvel fatigue. And, I had Marvel fatigue before, but
you had Marvel fatigue back at Ultron.
Yeah, Ultron was really the one where I was like, okay, I'm good. I don't need to watch these anymore. I have watched some of them since, but can
I honestly recommend that you'll probably not do this, but you have Disney Plus, right?
Yes.
I think you should go watch What If.
So my roommate Jared, he fills me in on all the stuff that's been happening with the Marvel TV shows. Thinking about giving Vision and Wanda a thing. I've seen the first episode.
Oh my gosh, WandaVision was actually really great. All 9 episodes, like together, it was really great.
So I've seen the first episode of that, and I've been considering it. A What If seems like genuinely more interesting one. Some of them sound like some of them aren't really intrigued by, but that one would probably be the one I would most likely watch. I don't really care about watching Loki, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I don't really care.
That's completely fair.
Yeah.
Did you even go back and listen to the last episode of TFCC with me and Jamie? Did you listen to that in your free time?
I haven't. Free time is a hot commodity for me.
We went off on the MCU and their Twitter fans and everything.
Oh yeah, well I know Jamie. If any of you follow Jamie on Twitter, he is not a fan of the MCU, and he makes it known.
Yeah, no, but I think it's actually also a really good conversation. I think when you get a chance,
absolutely.
Yeah, the next thing you put in like your ears to just mindlessly listen to, put on the last episode of TFCC.
Well, Joe, I've been listening to, I'll have you know, Critical Ditto, and I can't interrupt that. I am pretty quickly catching my way up, and it is a tabletop RPG podcast.
Is this the one that Jeff Goldblum's on?
No, this is not.
Did you hear Jeff Goldblum? Jeff Goldblum is in a podcast right now. Well, it might be done airing this season already, but it's a D&D podcast of players playing D&D, and Jeff Goldblum's in it, and he's playing D&D with these people.
That's really cool. This one's about Pokemon, but okay. It's really good. Check it out. If you're listening to this podcast, go listen to them.
Do you know what podcast I listened to this summer, Noah, that came back for its 6th season?
I'm guessing it's My Dad Wrote a Porno.
Oh, and Noah, it was such a good season.
Good.
It was full of twists and turns. Like, you have no idea what it became.
Is it still Belinda?
She is now leaving Steels, and so they took down the evil fat German guy, and now she is in control of Steels, and the sex is even worse than before. But it's it's so bad and disgusting, but that's the point of the fun. And I honestly, when I was doing long commuting drives into my old job, and I needed to pick me up in the mornings, Monday mornings were made a lot easier by my dad wrote a porno season 6.
Right now you guys are going to see something else that gets cut out of, which this is things that Noah forgot to do something before he started and now needs to stop. Hey, Google, turn on Riley's room light, please. There we go.
Can I ask a question? Why
Yeah.
haven't you renamed that to bedroom light yet?
Why would I? It works
Because
just
you're
the same.
screaming Riley's room light.
Yeah. Why does that matter?
I don't know. It's really wordy and just it takes up a lot of time. I don't know.
Google gets me.
Do you have yours set up to like tell you to set alarms and tell you about the weather tomorrow and play you sounds when you go to bed?
No, mine is in St. Bernard's, which is 2.5 hours down the road.
Just down the road.
Yeah, just down the road.
Just down the road. Yeah, in Newfoundland, they only have one fucking dirt road that you follow across everything.
That is not true. I used to live on a dirt road when I was living in St. Bernard's, but there were many other roads and they were paved. And actually, now that dirt road is also paved. So
wow, you guys finally got enough money in the city's budget to fucking pave a road.
It's not a city. It's barely a town. I think technically it's a village.
Oh my god, you're one of the village people.
Yeah.
You were born in Newfoundland, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You've been there the entire time. It was your brother that wasn't.
Yes, my brother was born in Alberta when my parents taught there.
Mm-hmm. Fucking hell. Keeping track of the shepherds' lives. But yeah, no, that's really all I watched for movies because I would have watched more, but movie theaters just recently opened up in Ontario. We just got them back right at the end of July. So it's only been like 5 weeks since theaters have been open. And so I've gone and I've seen 3 things, and it was 1 week in between. And then this week that just passed that I didn't go see anything. So I'm hoping to go to the movies this upcoming week and see something. Yeah, so I'm fine, but we're finally getting back to movies and getting to watch things, which is really great, because then it means that we can finally start talking about current film industry. And now we're going to talk a little bit about the show here. Guys, we struggled during the pandemic for content. There were times where we had to, I think we pushed an episode once just because we were like, there's nothing to fucking talk about.
Yeah.
What are we going to talk about?
We did a lot of quizzes.
Yeah.
We did a lot of like little expose episodes.
And you know what?
And
people listened to them and they got listens and people seemed to enjoy them. But for us, it very much felt, I don't know if you felt like this, no, but for me, every time we were doing an episode, to me and just in my head, I'm like, this is such filler. This feels wrong. This feels off brand. This doesn't, because we try to report, on the latest things or talk about latest movies. Or if something has currently happened, we try to relate that to a broader topic in Hollywood. You know, we really do try to be current in what's going on. And we didn't want to come here every fucking month and just say, the pandemic's still going on. You can't fucking do anything. You're depressed at home, and so are we. So here's Wonderwall. And then we just played Wonderwall for 40 minutes.
The biggest thing that it was like, things weren't coming out. There wasn't any real reason to be excited about the film industry. Even the Oscars, right? They were.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
and the only
I didn't cover them. I didn't watch them. I didn't watch anything that was nominated. I don't think. I can't even remember what it was.
Ugh, my God, neither can I. All except for Nomadland. That's all I remember. That
was One Night in Miami nominated? Is that this
only
year?
Leslie was nominated for supporting.
Was the movie? Was the movie?
No.
That's ridiculous because that movie was great.
Yeah, but a lot of people actually didn't like it.
Really? No, I thought it was really good.
Shocking. But at the very least, I thought Regina King deserved an Oscar, a nomination for directing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
No.
I can't remember his name. The guy who played Malcolm X was great. They were all great. They give great performances.
Yeah, only Leslie Odom Jr. was nominated.
Well, I love Leslie Odom Jr., but
yeah.
I mean, there should have been more coming out of that. That's not great. But once again, the Oscars aren't a fan of a lot of things surrounding those.
Well, as we talked about earlier in the year, they're better than the Golden Globes.
Better than the Globes.
Yeah, which the Globes are also claiming that they've already started to reform and that things are going to be good. So we'll see what happens there. We'll be following that story. But yeah, like when something like that happened, thankfully we had a very filler episode planned and we got to throw that out. And in a day, I got to like rewrite this whole script. We did this research and like the three of us, me, you, and Ava, we put our heads together and we put out this great episode in just a few days about the Golden Globes. And I think that might be, I don't know if it's our best performing one of the last year, but it's definitely, I think, my favorite from the last year. Because also that one felt natural, that one felt right, and we had such a great time. We were like laughing at so many things and just enjoying ourselves. I really liked that episode. I really liked doing that episode. That episode felt like 21st century cinema to me, where everything else essentially that we've done hasn't.
I think there is like some room for some of the stuff we did. I very much enjoyed the quizzes. I enjoyed that kind of interaction. Yeah. I thought that was fun. I like mixing that stuff in. The biggest thing that we found with that is more so outside of the pandemic, we've all gotten really busy. Ava's going to school. Joe, you're working with a couple clients.
I've got 2 freelance clients and I work full time.
And I have just recently gotten full time at my job, but was already working full time hours before, plus call-in hours. My schedule is only now concrete. Plus, I've also been directing a play that's going into the St. John's Short Festival. You can check that out if you're interested. You can find it LSPU Hall box office. They'll have all the details for that. But yeah, I've been doing that, and honestly, like by the time it comes around, right, where we're all so busy, you're just kind of brain fried when it comes time to turn on the podcast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's just been insane how busy things have gotten. Like, especially during the pandemic, like everyone else's lives calmed down in the pandemic.
I don't know what that is.
Went full throttle.
I've gotten 2 jobs for the in the pandemic, and basically I've just been doing my entire career during the pandemic.
Yeah.
So my entire working career started then.
It is so crazy. And just
I've been in 3 different houses living. So
speak about your career. I thought about this the other day. I just thought it's crazy that in September 20, well, actually, let's go back a little bit more. In April 2019, I said goodbye to you and I said, I'll see you in a few months after summer. And you were like all in it to win it. You were ready to go. You were a happy, chipper guy. And then you came back and you were like, I'm depressed. I'm upset. I don't want to be here. I don't want to do journalism anymore. This is not for me. I'm going to finish this out. I'm going to write this out, but I'm going to be upset. And for 8 months, you were upset about it every time it was brought up. Oh my gosh. But I will also never forget Andrew being like, what do you mean you don't want to be a journalist anymore? He was so hurt. Because he loved you so much.
And I love Andrew.
And now I just look at it and just how different our lives like became just because of the pandemic. You're doing radio, which is something that you are built for and made for, you know.
Thank you.
Just absolutely great. So happy for you. You're doing that. I wanted to go into editing and behind the scenes in TV and production to take other skills of doing social media, website building, all this other stuff that I had learned and picked up on, essentially just stuff that I was pulling strings at before, put it all together into something and make something out of it. And now it's led me to doing a full-time job, doing that on a huge scale. For those that don't, to give a little more information about my job, I currently am the quote-unquote media manager. I don't have that's not the official title, but essentially the easiest way to explain it is I'm the media manager for Canada's largest online comic book store. So I'm working with my hobby. I'm working with something that I love and that I know a lot about. It's essentially like just like comic books and film. That's me right here. And I'm working with one of those, using all of my skills on this giant scale. And it's so much fun. I'm so happy. I love doing it. And it's just, I don't know, it's just really insane to me where our lives went from September 2018 to April 2019, that chunk. And then after that summer, and then just that year that then led up into the pandemic. And now where we are afterwards as the pandemic is hopefully coming to a close. We don't know.
Get vaccinated, people.
Yeah, get vaccinated. But it's just, it's insane to me. And I just wanted to put that out there. That
it's been a wild ride.
It has been a really wild ride. And it definitely impacted the show. We've cut down to once a month because A, there wasn't much to talk about, and B, we were really busy. That once a month has sometimes become once every 6 weeks. And it's just, and I won't lie, this episode right here, we decided on fly in the last few days because we've been trying to plan this other really big episode that we've talked about a little bit, which is the movies from our childhood that essentially shaped us. We're wanting to do that episode with Noah Schaefer. It was his idea. He brought it forward to us, and it's just coordinating schedules and things right now. Everyone's busy. Everyone's doing so much. Over the pandemic, Noah Schaefer picked up doing a project that I can't talk about because I know he can't talk about it, and I only know about it secretly. But he's doing something really big, and he's also then doing something else like this show. He's doing his own show over on Twitch in his free time. So that's his little personal thing. So just having him be like, can you come on for our show also? As much as he loves being here, it's really hard for him to be here. Yeah, so we're just really trying to coordinate a bunch of things, guys. But I think next month, our September episode, Ava's already decided it's going to be Studio Ghibli.
Ooh, that'll be a fun one.
Yeah.
That will be a very fun one.
Yeah. And then I think I also want to speak a little bit more candidly, Noah, about you joining the show, if you're okay with that.
Absolutely.
So Noah, as you guys know, came on in, I think it was 2019 you came on for the first time, right?
Yeah, so yeah, I was on as a guest for the musical episode.
I think that was musical
episode.
That might have been November 2018.
I think so. I know it was our second school year is how I remember.
It was second year when you came on?
I'm pretty
sure.
It
was 2019. Okay, it was 2019 you came on. Anyways, I brought Noah onto the show because me and Noah did a lot of hosting together. We had another podcast called Sheridan Stars and the Sheridan Sun News podcast. We did 2 podcasts together in college for our school. Sheridan Stars was so great, man. It
was so much fun. Also, actually, quick shout out. If you haven't been watching along, or if you've been following us since then, we interviewed Matthew Friendly Brown. He's one of the he's a good friend of mine, and he young musician, and he was recently part of a singing competition online web series, and he did a great job. It was I still disagree with his elimination. That song they made was great. But anyway, he was awesome on it. Definitely go check him out. Check out his music. It's great. Seriously, he's a very cool guy.
I really hope that show is going to help him get elevated and get somewhat discovered or somewhere on the next level, because he's so talented. I love his music. I love seeing him online and the things that he's interacting with and what he's doing. He's so great. He was such a nice man when I met him. You already knew him. But yeah, anyways, shout out to Matthew. But yeah, so we did Sheridan Stars, and Noah kind of became, I guess, kind of in the way like my co-host throughout the entire year. Me and Noah took every opportunity to work together on absolutely everything.
Yep.
Everything we could work on together, we worked together.
Podcasts together. We also we had a TV broadcast.
Those are on YouTube.
Yeah, you can check those out. And me and Joe would host one week, and we would always switch our roles. But when we weren't hosting, Joe would direct the show, and I would technically be his audio guy, but I was mostly just his general whatever you need kind of guy.
Noah was my emotional support, my physical support. Noah was absolutely everything in that time. Oh my god, I'm getting stressed out thinking about some of the people in that class.
Don't worry about it.
What they did to us. And then to top it all off, I got even more stressed because me and Noah, every time in that class when we were the director and he was the audio person / whatever I needed, we would go to our on-campus pub for lunch, and there was a waiter there who would serve us every week. And every week, essentially, this is it. Noah would give his order, and he'd be like, "Yep, okay. Would you like a side of fries with that, or what?" I know, it'd be like fries, and he'd be like, "Yeah, okay, sure, no problem." And he would very normally take Noah's order, and then he'd turn to me and he goes, "And what would you like, buddy?" Every fucking week. It was like I was 5, and I was like,
I mean. We don't have proof that you're not.
Noah. Oh my god. Just every week Noah would laugh about it and make fun of me. Oh my, you didn't make, that was the one thing you didn't make better. That's the one thing you would just make worse by just being like, "You ready to go, buddy?"
Of course.
Oh my god. It was, but yeah. Fuck. Anyways, yeah, so Noah became, this is all a story relating to the show. Of course, like I said, we get sidetracked so easily talking.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Noah, I worked with him a lot. I knew Noah was great. And Ava made the decision that she wanted to take a step back from the show because she was going away to school. Her life was about to become a lot more busier, and she just wasn't sure she could continue making the commitment. And so she essentially wanted to share the load of hosting because she didn't want to leave the show, but she also knew she couldn't commit to the show on this grand scale. And instead of doing an episode every 2 months, we wanted to bring someone in to fill in those gaps. And so I immediately thought of Noah, and I asked Noah if he would come and be a part of the show, and Noah immediately said yes. And so over the pandemic, we added Noah fully to the team. You started, it was last fall at the end. So you're going to start at the end of season 2. And for all of season 3, you've been a co-host with us. And it's made for interesting dynamics. We've been able to switch things up a little bit. And I also just want to ask Noah, like, how you've done almost a year now of this.
Yeah.
How have you liked being a part of 21st Century Cinema?
It's been a lot of fun. I mean, like we chat movies all the time. It's really natural, right? We have these as like this is Candid. We forget the mics are on. We just talk about movies all the time, and like the conversation we're having here today, we just kind of have normally. So it's not much different, but it's been a lot of fun, and definitely a big highlight.
I'm glad you're really enjoying it. Season 4?
Oh, absolutely, season 4.
Season 4. 2022 season 4. Yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's so crazy also that the show we're gonna do 3 seasons now. Like, we're gonna finish our 3rd season and we're gonna do a 4th. And there was a time earlier this year where we almost stopped doing the show, which we can also talk about, where it got to a point where it was a lot for me, because I was so busy and really stressed out at the time, and with Noah also being very busy, I do all the editing. Noah wasn't really able to also help me with planning shows or things like that. So it was so busy that I said, do we have to stop? We have to stop. We have to take a step back. We have to look at this, and we have to ask ourselves, do we have to stop doing this? Or is there a way we can still do this? And we found other ways to split up workloads and figure things out. And because of that, we've been able to do this now once a month, and we're able to do the show, and it's not really a big stressy thing. The thing we're most stressed about is anything going to be going on that we can talk about? Yeah, like for example, we tweeted about it. The biggest thing in the freaking industry last week was, are celebrities bathing their kids, or how do they bathe? What are their bathing habits? All because of fucking Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher on Dax Shepard's fucking podcast.
It's been an interesting year in the industry.
Yeah. And shout out to Jake Gyllenhaal for just being like, yeah, no, I shower regularly, but to each their own, I guess. Like, thank you, Jake Gyllenhaal, for being a normal fucking human being.
Those are hard to come by.
They are, especially considering the characters Jake Gyllenhaal plays too.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. But yeah, so to sum up this episode, we're back. Theaters are opening up, so we'll have a lot more current topics to talk about. We've got some exciting things we have.
Knock on wood.
Noah is actually in charge of our October Halloween episode this year. So Noah's going to be planning that out for us, and he's going to have something fun for us to talk about there. In November, we're going to welcome Jamie Rabano back. He approached me about an idea that he wants to do and talk about, and I think it'll be a really interesting industry discussion that can encompass film, not only from modern day, but also a lot of old film too. It's going to be a really broad topic that I think we're going to have a lot of fun with. And then, yeah, in September, we're going to do Studio Ghibli, which is really exciting. And then in December, it's the end of the year. So you know what that means, guys. Noah, what does that mean?
Q&A.
Q&A. We got to do a Q&A.
Q&A.
Q&A time. It's Q&A time. So if you are not, head on over to our Instagram at 21st Century Cinema. If it's in our stories when you go to follow, or if you just go to check it out, you're already following. Thanks for that. Send us in your questions or direct message them to us. You can also direct message them on Facebook and Twitter. We're there as well. On Twitter, we're at TFCC Podcast, and on Facebook, we're at 21st Century Cinema. But if you also search at TFCC Podcast, you can find us that way on Facebook too. Made it that way. Really great. Really cool. If you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, make sure you're following us. Get notified when we have new episodes coming out, and make sure you're listening, because like I said, we've got 4 more episodes after this year that we're really excited about. And then we're going to come into season 4. And because things should be normal in January, we'll start off our usual tradition of starting off a season with Oscar nominations. So You don't want to miss that. And Noah should hopefully have seen most of the Oscar movies this year, so he'll be able to actually talk about them with us.
Yeah, I mean, The Suicide Squad and In the Heights. A lot still hasn't come out this year, guys. Let's not.
Let's not forget the first
year.
Suicide Squad is an Academy Award-winning film.
Oh God, I really hope this one wins something. Please.
The first Suicide Squad is an Academy Award-winning film. That keeps me up at night.
It should. It should. It's disturbing.
It should. Yeah. But yeah, make sure you're following us. If you want to listen to those 4 episodes when they come out completely uncut like this is, if you want to take part in that and a whole bunch of other bonus content and other uncut episodes we have, you can go subscribe to our Patreon, patreon.com/TFCC. It's the easiest way to support the show and the easiest way to, of course, help us. If you don't want to do a monthly thing though, and you would though, however, like to help support the show, we've got merch, guys. Every little bit of merch you buy counts. We're on TeePublic/21st Century Cinema, and you can order all of our. Why are you pulling out a $20? You're throwing a $20 bill at me. Okay. Do you want me to throw one back at you? I have one right here. Wait.
Well, it signifies that's the people buying our merch.
I'm crinkling a $20 bill in front of the mic, and I'm throwing it at Noah. There we go. Okay, so yeah, yeah, you can go buy our merch. The Shut Up Joe is still selling somehow. People are still buying it for some reason.
Well, yeah, I know the reason. You haven't shut up yet.
So go buy our merch. It was designed by the amazing Noah Schaefer, who we are trying to work out that episode. And yeah, hopefully we'll have a 5th episode in this year with Noah Schaefer doing that movie. If not, we will bump it to season 4, but that episode will happen. Next time we have Noah Schaefer on the show, that episode will happen. And we're also trying to do a episode with technology in the film industry. Disney and Lucasfilm have really revolutionized how things are shot with their new LED screens and how they've done everything. And there was just a documentary on Mandalorian Season 2 that came out on Disney Plus showing more of the new technology that they're using. So I really want to talk about that stuff too. So we're also going to get an episode going on that. So yeah, 2022's got a lot shaping up, a lot of really great stuff, and talking about the future of the industry. And we're also going to talk about just current stuff again, guys. And we're really excited to do that. So get your questions in for our Q&A. Ask us anything you guys want, anything about our lives, about our movie opinions. Ask us to debate things about movies. We talked about Mater from Cars last year in the Q&A. Yeah, it gets crazy. They get really crazy. They're a lot of fun though. Thank you once again for listening, and I hope you enjoyed this. And one more reason to go check out our socials is that you can see the video version of this podcast there now, live. So go check it out. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode. Noah, anything to add?
Nope. Joe, where can the people find you?
Oh, that's right. We didn't even plug our fucking selves. You can find me on Instagram at the one and only JDV with underscores in between. And also go check out at Capcan Comics, where I work. It's an amazing place. We've got so many. We've got over 100,000 back issues just on our site. And we, like I said, we're Canada's largest online comic book retailer. And so just come check us out. You can find so much, and you can get all upcoming books too. Pre-sales. We've got so many pre-sales. I'm in charge of updating them and making people buy them. Go check out our pre-sales. Noah?
You guys can follow me on Twitter, ShepardNoah14. You see all my work stuff there. For the latest Malcolm McDowell news, you can also follow me. You can follow me on Instagram. I don't post very often, but you're welcome to. It's a private account, but Shepwrecked, like shipwrecked, but with my name. And check out me and all the other amazing people who I work with at vocm.com. You can hear the live streams of whatever's going on over the radio waves, and also our links to SoundCloud and stuff like that for past segments. You can also catch me live every day on the radio from Wednesday, Thursday, Friday afternoons for the most part, and Sunday and Monday morning, or Saturday and Sunday mornings. And you guys can give me a listen there and read out some news from Newfoundland.
And canonically now, this is canon. Noah's Twitter is now a Malcolm McDowell fan account. So
yes, yeah. That is actually does Does work.
All right. Thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll see you next month.
See ya. Bye.